A disturbing national study shows for the first time the pandemic's devastating educational costs.
It compares scores of 9-year-olds across the country from this year to 2020. And in reading, the average score decreased 5 points. That's the largest drop since 1990. In math, scores dropped 7 points. The first time ever math scores have dropped. Only on CBS 2 today, political reporter Marcia Kramer with comments from New York City Schools Chancellor David Banks about this issue. Marcia.
Well, Christina Maurice, while the study is certainly upsetting, especially since it notes that minority students were hit the hardest, the chancellor told me he was by no means shocked because he's been seeing it on the ground since he became the school's boss in January. But he's got a strategy to turn things around.
I feel personally that our approach to the teaching of reading has been fundamentally flawed.
And so step one in the Department of Education strategy for making up the COVID learning deficits exposed in a new national study is to totally revamp how school children are taught to read. Instead of what the chancellor describes as balanced literacy, kids see a picture and guess what the word is.
We're going back to kind of the old school way of teaching reading, a very phonetic approach to the teaching of reading, which we've gotten away from, quite honestly, during the last 25 years.
The chancellor says he is especially concerned about the study finding regarding the pandemic deficit among minority students. For example, black students lost 13 points in math, while white students lost just 5 points. Can the school system make this up, or will this affect people this generation for the rest of their lives?
Well, I'm certainly hopeful that we can make it up as quickly as we possibly can, but we don't know, right, how quickly that will be able to take place. Our kids have suffered tremendous academic loss, tremendous social and emotional loss as well, and it's all connected.
The chancellor's strategy also calls for exposing and stimulating kids outside the classroom.
Making sure that our kids get a chance to go visit cultural institutions around New York City. The whole world lives here, and we should be exposing our kids to just so many new and exciting things all across the city.
Mona Davids of the New York City Parents Union says she supports the chancellor's plan to change how reading is taught. She blames some of the learning deficit on the previous administration, who pushed to keep schools closed.
I blame Mayor de Blasio. I blame former schools chancellor Carranza.
Her solutions:
it's not rocket science. What you need to do is academic intervention, after-school tutoring, extended school day, Saturday school. It's all hands on deck.
Teachers Union President Michael Mulgrew also supports the reading changes. What he wants is a definitive plan from the Department of Education with input from teachers.
We definitely need a better plan, and more importantly, a plan that you design the plan by allowing the people who do the work have an active part in the plan.
Well, Chancellor Banks tells me that what would also help is for parents to read with their kids, go to the library and pick out books. And yes, maybe less screen time would help as well. Maurice and Christine.
We've heard that before. So true. Thank you, Marcia. And you can see Marcia's entire interview with Chancellor Banks next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. in our streaming special, Back to School Blueprint. They talk everything impacting students this year and also answer your questions. Again, it's streaming next Tuesday, 6:30, only on CBS News New York.